Cajun Blackened Smoked Salmon. Hey, welcome back to Smokin' and Drinkin'. I'm Mike, and today we're making Cajun Blackened Smoked Salmon. Let's get smoking. All right, we're still going on our meatless month, and today we're making salmon. We've made a salmon video before. Today we're doing Cajun style. It's a Cajun blackened salmon. We've got 2 salmon fillets here, or salmon, I guess it'd be called a fillet. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to use several seasonings. You can see we've got a bunch of seasoning here, about 10 or so. We're going to put a nice seasoning crust on there, a blackened crust. But first thing we're going to do, we're going to put some olive oil on both sides and just salt and pepper. And got our salt and pepper right here. And then we'll pull it back off, and then we'll do all of our seasonings, get a good crust on there, and then we'll sear it on a flat iron. But we're gonna get the smoke on it first. We're just gonna season it with the salt and pepper, and then we'll get it on the smoker. So I'm fighting against the sun here. It's just about to get in my eyes. So let's see if we can get this done here. I forgot to mention, we're gonna just put it on some parchment paper so that it doesn't stick to the grill so bad. Let's get this going here. Let's get our 2 fillets separated so we can get them oiled up. And got our olive oil here. And just like we do with any kind of binder, we just put a little olive oil on there. And both sides, we have one side still has the skin on it. That's going to be grill side down. And that'll help so that it won't stick so bad to the grill. Because as you know, salmon is a delicate meat, or delicate protein meat, I guess it is. And it does tend to want to stick to the grill. In fact, it's so delicate, as I rub it, it wants to kind of rub some of the meat off of there. But we'll just be careful. And we're gonna flip this over for now. And then we'll get our other sides oiled up. Those are pretty salmon fillets. Out here in the Midwest, it's hard to get good fresh seafood, but they do okay. They get it flown in. Certainly not like you'd have on the coast, but we're a long way from the coast. All right, so we got it oiled up real good. That'll help keep it from sticking. The parchment paper is really going to be key to keeping it from sticking, because we're going to put this right on the grill. And then we're just going to, I am so oily here. That's why I got the whole roll of paper towels. And then we're just going to, like I said, we're going to add not all of our salt and pepper. We're going to add just about enough to season with, because we want to have that crust. And this is part of the seasoning for the crust. So we're going to use about half of it. I'll put the ingredients list in the description. All of these are about a teaspoon of each of those. In fact, all of them I think are a teaspoon. So, all right, we've got that seasoned up. We're just going to get it on the smoker at 225. We're using pecan pellets, and we're going to let that go about probably 30 to 45 minutes. And we want to get the temp up to 115, 120, something like that. And then we're going to come back and we're going to finish it up. Let's get it on the smoker. Got a little something extra on the smoker today. That'll be part of another video. Hopefully this doesn't tear while I'm transferring. Made it in there. Try not to burn myself. Okay. Fold this over just a little bit. All right, so parchment paper, like I said, helps prevent sticking to the grill while still allowing smoke to get onto the salmon. We don't want to, we could put it on a pan or something like that, but then we restrict the smoke getting into the fish, into the salmon. So we're gonna let that go, like I said, about 25 to probably 30 minutes at least. Like I said, want to get up to 115 or 120, and then we'll be back to finish it off. Okay, check the salmon. It is up to 120 internal temp. Use my probe thermometer. So we're going to get that off for the next stage, which is putting the seasonings on the top, and then we'll get the heat up and put the flat iron on and get it seared. But let's get it off of the smoker for right now. Got the pan. I got a big flat pan. We're just going to scoop underneath just to make it easier in case that parchment paper kind of tears on us. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, you can kind of see the white bubbles. That's just the oils coming up out of the salmon. But that's normal. But I'm gonna check our temp here. Yeah, we're at 125, almost 130. So that is plenty done. That is good and ready to go. So we're gonna get this. We're gonna baste it with a little bit of butter, and then we're gonna put our seasonings together and put our seasonings on there. So we'll get on that next. All right, we're gonna baste this with a little bit of butter, just to kind of. We probably don't have to. There's probably plenty of fat from the salmon to hold our seasonings on, but we're gonna do it anyway. Can't hurt to have some butter on there, right? Okay, what we need to do is mix our seasonings together. All right, mix our seasonings together. We've got a teaspoon of smoked paprika and a teaspoon of sweet paprika, or just regular traditional paprika, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of onion powder. Like I said, there's a lot of ingredients in here. And we have a teaspoon of dried thyme. I won't make the thyme joke. A teaspoon of dried oregano. And we have what's left of our sea salt, or kosher salt. And we started with a teaspoon of this kosher salt. That was probably about half a teaspoon. And then we have a teaspoon of, actually about 3/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can go anywhere from half to 1 teaspoon. I went kind of in the middle. Give it a little bit of heat. This is a Cajun dish. And then the rest of our black pepper, about a half a teaspoon. We started with 1 teaspoon. And then a teaspoon of brown sugar. This kind of helps make that crust that we want. It's kind of dried out here. I was sitting out here for just a little bit, and that's all right. We'll get it crushed in there. Anyway, the brown sugar helps hold it all together and make kind of that crust that you'd like to have on there. Get all the brown sugar broken up here. We're just going to mix it all together. We're just going to use our fingers. And we're going to use our fingers to spread it on. We're going to get it mixed up real well. Get all the clumps out of there. Oh, wow, that smells wonderful. It smells kind of like the garden, midsummer. All right, and then we're just gonna put our seasonings and try and keep the wind from blowing all our seasonings away. You want to be generous with it. We want a good crust on there. So we get it all over. Make sure I have enough for both salmon fillets. If you've ever seen a Cajun salmon, there's a nice seared crust on there. So we want to get this heavy and even and pressed in there real well. As soon as we get it all spread on it, we're going to press it in with our fingers. Try and keep all of it on the salmon because we want every bit of it on our crust. We're going to have to get our smoker up as high as it'll go so that we can get our flat iron on there and sear this. We're going to go about a minute on each side just to get a good sear on there and make this crust that we've been talking about. All right, this is looking good. Okay, there we go. And then we're just gonna pat this in there. You want it even. Don't be afraid. We want all of that to stay on the salmon. All right, we're just gonna, oh no, we want it on the salmon, Mike, not on our fingers. Should have oiled up my fingers a little bit. That's all right. We'll get it on there. There's plenty on there. Okay. Now, we want that to sit and soak in just a little bit. As you can see, there's some dry spots there. That'll soak in. We want to kind of get into the salmon. We smoked it first to get the smoke on there. Now we're just going to sear it. So we're done getting smoke. We'll get our temp all the way up. We'll get our flat iron on there, and then we'll get this searing. I'll be right back. Okay, we've got our Traeger up to temp. We got our flat iron in there. Let's get about a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of oil on there just to kind of help give it that sear. So let's butter and our oil. All right. Now, let's see if we can get this on there without something catastrophic happening. I think we're going to have to use our hands here and just, yeah, that'll work. That'll hold together. We're going to do seasoning down first. Need to move that back. My flat iron isn't very big, so whoa, about broke it. There we go. Get you in here so you can see what I got going on here. Let that sear for about a minute or two, and we'll flip them over. While we're waiting for that to sear on the seasoning side, I'll talk about a little bit about our rice that we've got going here. I made a rice. It's a dirty rice. It's Zataraine's New Orleans tradition. dirty rice, long grain rice with vegetables and spices. Thought that would go nice, the salmon on a bed of rice. So I just made from a box on the skillet. Trying to go quick and easy here. This is a bit of a project here, so didn't want to get too extravagant. So we're gonna get this flipped over here in a minute. It's gonna be a little tricky. I don't have I need a pizza spatula. It would work really well, but I'm going to use a pizza cutter. It's not quite as deep as I'd hoped, but we're going to try and flip it without breaking it apart. As you know, salmon is delicate. Almost broke it picking it up to put it in there. So we're going to try and be careful and keep this all looking pretty. So let's go ahead and try and give it a flip here. See what that looks like. Take a peek. I think so. I think we're good here. I'm going to try and do this somewhat gracefully without breaking it, without burning myself. I think we could go a little longer. I'm going to leave that other one flipped a little longer because I'd like to have that a little more blackened. This is blackened salmon, so I'm going to let that go a little longer. For the other one, we'll have one that's not quite as blackened, but that's okay. I need something to put our bed of rice on. I'll be right back. Okay, I think our salmon is ready to come off. As you can see, I got our bed of rice, and we also happen to have our crab cakes from the last episode, our smoked crab cakes with remoulade sauce. You know, that's going to go nicely. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up here. Check it out. Let's try and get this salmon off of here and see what we can do with it here. I need to turn my pan around so we can get the one that's been on there a little longer. Turn my flat iron around so we can get to this thing. Okay, now take our makeshift salmon scooper. There we go. Well, that's not bad. I know you can't see it yet. Let's see if I can, I'll go ahead and get it on the plate for you. I'm going to take this one right here. It's already been searing. Oh boy, that looks nice. Get that on there just like this. There we go. Close that. We'll leave that one for just a minute. Oh boy, how about that? Does that look delicious or what? Turned out really nice. And as you can see, I've got a blue moon to go with it. Just like we had with the crab cakes, I think it goes well with seafood. I was going to make a Sazerac, which is a rye whiskey drink, but I thought the blue moon would go nicely with it. Since we had it with the crab cakes, might as well have it with the salmon as well. So, oh boy, let's drizzle a little on this, a little of our remoulade on our other crab cake here. Boy, this just doesn't drizzle real nice. That's okay. All right. And I got a fork here. Oh boy. Can't wait to dig into that. Before we dig in, we need to garnish this just a little bit with some parsley and some green onion. A little heavy on the parsley. And of course, we need a lemon slice. I got a half a lemon here. I could use that. Where's my knife? Oh, here it is. Get a little nicer slice here. Maybe just squeeze a little lemon juice on there. Lemon juice goes nicely with seafood and with salmon. Let's dig in. Let's kind of break this apart right in the middle. Let's use our knife. Whoa, Nelly. Okay. Let's see what that looks. Oh, boy, is that pretty or what? I like that. Okay, let's have a taste. See what we got going on here. Get a little bit of the rice with it. Oh, wow. That is nice and tender and juicy. Yeah, I love that blackened seasoning. It's got a little bit of a kick to it on the back end there, but wow, that is delicious. Let's have a taste of the blue moon with it. Oh yeah, that orange, the citrus flavor of the blue moon just pairs real nice with the salmon. That was a good choice. I like the Sazerac, but I think this was a better choice. We'll make another video of the Sazerac, maybe a short or something like that, but let's try a little bit of the crab cake here. Yep, just as good as the last time. Again, if you haven't seen that episode, go ahead and check that one out too. So that about does it for the Cajun Blackened Smoked Salmon. I appreciate y'all tuning in to Smoking and Drinking again. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to get notified, hit that notification bell. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I don't ask any more of you, but it sure helps our channel out. Helps us bring more videos like this to you every single morning. So again, thank you all. And as always, Prost!